Okay, you're doing pretty well with this. Let's just look at the solutions of these so you can compare with what you did. Okay, so write these out in all the different possible ways. So 8 to the 3 halves could be written as, what color to 8 to the third to the 1/2, since 3 times 1/2 is 3 halves, right? Or is 8 to the 1/2 to the third. And in radical form, that could be the cube root of 8 to the third, square root of 8 to the third. Or square root of 8 raised to the third. Okay? Could be in any of these forms. Now, I intended to do the 2/3 power, I wrote 3 halves. You could do the 1/3 power of 8. So let me write down the one that I intended to do. 8 to the 2/3 is, among other things, eight to the 1/3 squared, or the cube root of 8 squared. Okay? So, the question is then, and there are other ways you could write it, but what's 8 to the 1/3, or the cube root of 8? You don't have to give me a number, just tell me what you would do with the cube root to do what. Well, you would have to raise it to the 3rd power to get 8, right? Okay? Well, what's 2 to the 3rd power? 8. What's 3 to the 3rd power? It's 3 times 3 times 3. Give you a start. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And of course you see a 27 here. Okay? So you're going to be able to use that. So you should know that the cubes of, you really should know the cubes of numbers from at least 1 to 6. They're pretty easy to remember. Okay? 8, 27, 64, 125, 216. Okay, they're easy to work out. And beyond that, you probably don't need much beyond that. Okay, I mean it's 343 for 7, 512 for 8, 729 for 9. Okay, and 10 cubed is 1,000. Okay, and that one's useful to remember. You might run into it. But probably no more than up to the first 5 or 6 cubes. Okay? And you might want to just write them down on a piece of paper in case you encounter them in the problems. Okay? Okay, so anyhow, the cube root of 8 squared is, okay, well, to the 1/3, so the number you raise to the 3rd power to get 8. So you could start with 1, well, 1 to the 3rd power is 1, that's not going to help. But immediately 2 to the 3rd power is 8, right? Now if it was 7 to the 1/3, you would be able to do that without a calculator. Okay, and that would be an appropriate thing to use a calculator for. Incidentally, it's very easy to do these powers on a calculator. Okay? Not sure that the homework is going to require it. The homework should pretty much be confined to numbers that you can figure out, okay, without using a calculator. Okay, so anyhow, you get that. So anyhow, this then is 2 squared versus just 4. Okay? Once you see what 8 to the 1/3 is, it's easy to figure out that you replace 8 to the 1/3 or the cube root of 8 by 2, and you have 2 squared, and that's 4. Okay? 27 to the 4/3 is 27 to the 4th to the 1/3. You want to try calculating that? What's 27 to the 4th? Quick. You don't know your 4th powers. Okay. Well, not many people can do 27 to the 4th in their head, and even fewer people will remember what the result is. Okay. So you got 10 or 27 to the 1/3 to the 4th, and at this point you recognize, okay, yeah, 27 is a 3rd power of something. It's a 3rd power of 3, right? I mean, every positive number is a 3rd power of something, but it's a 3rd power of something you can easily identify. Okay? So you know that you're going to have 3 to the 4th. And if you don't know it, then you could write out, okay, it's a cube root of 27 to the 4th, but I don't want to do 27 to the 4th, so I'm going to ignore that one. But it's also the cube root of 27 raised to the 4th power. If you didn't recognize that 27 to the 1/3 is 3, maybe you recognize that the cube root of 27 is 3. One or the other. Hopefully both. Well, that's 3 to the 4th, and that's 81. Okay? Digress to this a squared b cubed thing. Okay, your rule here is that raising to a power distributes over multiplication. Okay? So in that sense, you're going to have a squared has to be raised to the 1/3, and b cubed has to be raised to the 1/3. Okay? Now in the handout you'll see a lot of examples. I think you're going to understand them just fine if you understand what we've done here. And then what your works and problems. Okay? But then that's going to be a to the 2 times 1/3, b to the 3 times 1/3, which is a to the 2/3, b to the 1, which is a to the 2/3 times b. Okay? And of course, a to the 2/3 could be written as the cube root of a squared, or the cube root of a squared, or whatever, in all these different ways, right? Okay? Now, square root of 4 to the 4th. 4 to the 4th isn't bad, it's 256. You know what the square root of 256 is? You would if you knew your multiplication tables up to 20, but nobody does. Okay. I mean, yeah, some people do. Okay. So, you maybe don't want to raise 4 to the 4th before you do the square root. Maybe you want to write this as 4 to the 4th to the 1/2. Okay? Which would then be 4 to the 4 times 1/2, which is 4 squared, and that's easy, that's 16. Okay? Now everybody really ought to know the squares of all the numbers under 20, but I know that's few, so. But this illustrates that you kind of want to go for the lowest number you can. And the way to get that is like this. You could have also written it as square root of 4 raised to the 4th. Square root of 4 is 2, and 2 to the 4th is easily calculated to be 16. Okay? They're always alternative numbers. Okay, well, let's take this one. Okay? Okay, x to the 4/3 equals 16. Now I can put that x to the 4/3, well, I mean, I'm going to raise everything on this side to the 3/4, and I'm going to raise this side to the 3/4. Okay? Okay, then x to the 4/3 to the 3/4 is x to the 4/3 times 3/4, and that equals 16 to the 3/4. I could write that as 16 cubed to the 1/4 power, okay? Or the 4th root of 16 cubed. 16 cubed is 4,096. And everybody knows what the 4th root of 4,096 is, don't they? No, you don't want to do that, okay? You would write that as, I'll use fractional exponent, 16 to the 1/4 cubed. If you want to write that as a 4th root of 16 cubed, that's fine. You really should look at it in all different ways when you do some of these, okay? And this gives you x to the 1. 16 to the 1/4 is 2, because 2 to the 4th is 16, okay? And then that's going to be cubed, so that x equals 8. Okay? Now I think I just said that 16 cubed would be 4,096, is 2,048. Does everybody knows? Cube root of 2,048 is that, okay? 4th root of 2,048. Okay, well, no, not everybody knows that. I said that one. Okay, and then you do this one the same way. This one, you're writing it out the same way. And you hope you can do 32 to the 1/5, right? Well, it means you find a number you can multiply 5 times to get 32. Number can't be very big. Well, you're stuck with 2. Okay? Make sense? So x equals 2 squared equals 4. Okay?